Poetry, a type of literature that expresses ideas and feelings or tells a story in a specific form, usually using lines and stanzas. Poetic form. First is form, the appearance of the words on the page. Line, a group of words together on one line of the poem. Stanza, a group of lines arranged together. A word is dead when it is said. Some say. I say it just begins to live that day by Emily Dickinson. Types of poetry or three main types of poetry. First is narrative poetry, lyrical poetry, dramatic poetry. Narrative poetry, a verbal representation in verse of a series of connected events and propels characters through a plot. Narrative poetry, epic, ballad, mythical romance, mythical tale. Epic. An epic is a long narrative poem that relates the great deeds of a larger-than-life hero who embodies the values of particular society. Epics often concern eternal human problems such as the conflict between good and evil, written or told on a grand scale and often in ceremonial style. For example, Beowulf.
They say you have a monster here. They say your lands are cursed.
There have been many brave men who have come. But in the morning, there was nothing left but blood on the floor, and the benches, and the walls.
I am Beowulf. I will kill your monster. Do you want me to go in with you? Good.
Are you the one they call Beowulf? Such a strong man you are.
Show yourself! Tonight will be different! I am Ripper, Terror, Slasher. I am the teeth in the darkness, the challenge in the night. Mine is strength, and lust, and power. I am Beowulf!
Ballad tells a story similar to a folk tale or legend, usually set to music, simple repeating rhymes, often with a refrain. Narrative poetry, mythical romance, a long rambling story in verse. Ideals of chivalry, romantic love, and religious elements predominate in this type of literature. Most characteristics of the Middle Ages, for example, The Knight's Tale.
Someday, I'll be a knight.
Yes, William. If he believes enough, a man can do anything.
We could do this. In 1 month, we could be on our way to glory and riches none of us ever dreamed of.
You can't even joust.
I think he's getting worse. He is getting worse.
and I won't spend the rest of my life as nothing.
You have to be of noble birth to compete.
So we lie.
My lords, my ladies, I have the pride, the privilege, nay, the pleasure of introducing to you a knight, sired by knights.
William Thatcher didn't make the rules. He was born
I've waited my whole life for this moment.
to break them.
Yes! Thank you, I'll be here all week.
Well, that was different.
And you, Ulrich von Liechtenstein from Gelderland.
Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein. I would have him win my heart.
You're my favorite knight.
He's won 4 tournaments in a row. On a horse, that man is unbeatable.
You're just a silly boy with a horse and a stick.
It's called a lance. Hello? If the nobles find out who you are, there'll be the devil to pay.
And pray that they don't.
Ulrich von Liechtenstein is not who he appears to be.
They're gonna arrest you. 12 royal guards.
I love you. There's nothing else to do. Run, and I will run with you.
I will not run!
I'm a knight. I'm here to compete. Let's dance, you and I.
Your name makes no matter to me, just so long as I can call you my own.
Narrative poetry, mythical tale. It deals with any emotion or phrase of life, and its story is told in a simple, straightforward, and realistic manner. Lyrical poetry. Lyric poetry is a genre of poetry that expresses personal and emotional feelings. It is usually short and song-like. Lyric poems do not have to rhyme, and today do not need to be set to music or a beat. In the ancient world, lyric poems were those which are sung to the lyre. Did you know the term lyric comes from lyre, a musical instrument that accompanied ancient Greek poets? Lyrical poetry: the ode, sonnet, free verse, haiku, elegy, the song. The ode. It's a lyric poem usually expressed to a particular person or thing. It generally deals with one main idea and can be written as a song of praise or to celebrate an experience, thing, or a person. For example, Ode to a Fountain Pen. Oh, beloved pen of midnight blank ink, how I love to roll you down my nose. Definition of sonnets. English or Shakespearean sonnets are lyric poems that are 14 lines long, falling into 3 coordinate quatrains and a concluding couplet. Italian or Petrarchan sonnets are divided into 2 quatrains and a 6-line system. Free verse. Poetry that avoids use of regular rhyme, rhythm, meter, or division into stanzas. Free verse is a form of poetry composed of either rhyme or unrhymed lines that have no set fixed metrical pattern. The early 20th century poets were the first to write what they called free verse, which allowed them to break from the formula and rigidity of traditional poetry. Example: I celebrate myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every autumn belonging to me as a good belongs to you, by Walt Whitman, Song of Myself. Haiku poetry. Haiku poetry type is a Japanese poem composed of 3 unrhymed lines of 5, 7, and 5 syllables. Haiku poetry originated in the 16th century and reflects on some aspects of nature and creates images. Haiku format. I am first with 5, then 7 in the middle, 5 again to the end. Elegy. A poem written for someone who has died, often a tribute. Most are written in formal writing and serious tone. The song. A short lyric poem intended to be sung. It has that particular melodious quality required by a singing voice.